If there is something you've been putting off, you've been procrastinating about, this is the message for you, all right? So what is it that you've been putting off? You know what, all of us at some point have actions that we just kind of dread taking, or we overthink them. And what I've really discovered is that when we do that, when we're procrastinating, what we really have to do is make a decision. And there's really just one of two options to make. Number one, you can either drop the goal of the project and just don't do it. Because sometimes what we are procrastinating about isn't actually something that's necessary. Perhaps it's something that used to be necessary and now it's just not meaningful. It's not purposeful, and that's why you haven't moved forward on it at all. But option number two is really simple, but it's the one that most of us don't do. And that is to simply exercise some discipline and just go ahead and do it. Now here's the key. You've got to break it into bite-sized pieces, because typically what we do is not only do we overthink, but the task feels so big that we never get started because we're actually overwhelmed. Research shows that if we break it into small pieces and we do one little piece, let's say you do something that needs to be done at work and you do it near the end of the day, then when you get in the next day, you've already jump-started the project and you're more likely to jump right in and get it done. So break it into those smaller pieces and ask yourself, what's the little piece I could do that would get me started? Maybe it is the small action plan that you need. Maybe it is dividing it into 3 different tasks, and the first one you could get done or at least get started on today. Whatever it is, you've got to exercise some discipline and just do it. And then lastly, you've got to give yourself permission to be imperfect, to be able to go back and make things better later, but to not completely stall out because you don't know all of the steps up front. Most of the time, we don't, and that's okay. So do one of two things. Number one, drop the goal or the project altogether and just don't do it. Whew, sometimes that feels like a great relief. Or number two, exercise some discipline, break it into small pieces, and just get started. If you want more life coaching strategies, visit me on my blog. It's at valerieburton.com/blog. I'll talk to you next time.